Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Yasmina and it's Sunday and it's very early in the morning, but I've lost a day yesterday going shopping with my mother, so I thought I'd catch up. For today I thought I would do flip through the journals I have so far, and then maybe post a second video, as I have promised, doing the gift boxes for the 2 sets of jewelry we did last week. So this was my first ever journal. It's a Moleskine, but as I have discovered the way I create and what I like, it's not really the best paper for me. However, it was fun using it. This was the first spread I've ever done, and in the beginning they were all inspired by different artists. So this is made by Andrea from DI Crafty Scraps. I will have my inspirations all listed in the description of the video. Then this was inspired by Vicky Papaioannou. She's from Greece and she's a very talented artist and a very nice person. Then this I really liked. I like the colors, so I was inspired by it. This I have seen Rach 0113 do. I will have her channel listed as well. And then this was inspired by Karen Campbell. She does a lot of portraits, and maybe you should go check her out if this is something you are interested in. This was inspired by Diane Rivley, but as a design it's all done by me. I like that it's very colorful. And then from here on it's almost all inspired by James Burke. He's awesome. I'll have his channel listed as well. So here I tried something that I thought I liked, and then it grew into something else. So these are done Karen Campbell style, which means doing some collage first on the paper, then doing the sketch or the portrait, and then painting with acrylics, sealing it with glue. I used matte medium, and then shading with the Pritt brush markers. So these are pretty much all done like that. And so from here on it's inspired by Jane Davenport, and she has some books in which she teaches how to make portraits and then figures, and these are basically lessons from her book. This is the one inspired by Karen Campbell, redone in a different way. And here's Jane Davenport. So the hair is a collage made with napkins or serviettes, as they are called, and then shaded. And these are lessons for different postures of the face, and trying out different angles. This I really liked. The bird is a collage again. This is my inspiration, and I really love the cacti. And this was also inspired by Frida Kahlo's personality and how she stood up for herself. And I said here, she had a thorny tongue. I thought that was nice. The flowers are a collage again from napkins, and the Eiffel Tower. This is a different lesson from Jane Davenport, and basically it's about watercoloring and the wet on wet technique. So you wet your paper with a lot of water, and then you drop in colors, and it's very interesting to watch them run into each other, and how the colors mix. Jane Davenport again. So it's different poses of the face, different kind of eyes, different kind of noses, of mouths, and the emotions you get to send through by the way she looks. And this was all me, and I like her dreamy eyes and the hair. Okay, so this is a challenge that ran in the month of April. There are many Facebook groups of artists and wannabes, and there are challenges almost every month. So in April there was Alice in April, inspired by Alice in Wonderland. So this is the month of April. And for each day there was a theme. So this was snoozing on a golden afternoon, a rabbit with a waistcoat, down the rabbit hole, she found a little door. And here it's all inspired by Jane Davenport, as I have used her collection of face stencils. Swimming in a pool of tears, an easily offended mouse, oh my ears and whiskers, she went on growing and growing, she peeped over the edge of a mushroom, who are you? And then there is Frida Kahlo again. I like the flowers and the contrast between the blue and the pink. Okay. This is trying the old method again, but then I think I decided I want to try something else. This is all done with acrylics, and I haven't sealed it anymore because I don't like how in time, if you keep your journal closed, the pages would stick to each other. So this is more chalky. But I like the green in her eyes with the red hair. I like this because it came out with a painterly look, and it's not all smooth, so you can see the pencil and the brush lines. I like how this came out. This was inspired by James Burke. He's great. I will have him listed again. He has a sort of the out of the box kind of thinking, and I find him very inspiring. And James Burke again. I like all the teapots and the navy blue background. So this is coffee. I think I didn't drink my coffee that day, the first thing in the morning as I do usually, so I felt the need to paint. Jane Davenport again, and this pink is one of the acrylics she produces, and the navy blue as well. They're really nice, very smooth, and watered down in the right way, exactly as you need them to use them. So you don't have to add water, and they go on very smooth, and they dry pretty fast. So for me and the way in which I create, they are great. So as I have said, the pages stick. This is collage done with serviettes from a Jane Davenport collection, and it's all princesses and okay. This I don't really like because of the proportions, but otherwise I like the colors and I like the quote, alpha females don't run in packs. This, not so much. I don't like the proportions, but I like the colors and how the green goes with the pink. Here it's all Jane Davenport. I've used her stamps collection. She has a collection of stamps for faces, and you can combine them in different ways. Jane Davenport again. Stamps and collage. Stamps. I like the idea with the town and her headpiece mirroring the buildings. Collage again. Stamps. Stamps. Collage and watercolor. I like the colors in this one. Stamps and collage. Collage again. I like the watercolor effect on this one. This is some collage paper, and I've tried to mirror the half of the, so I've had half of the face and I've tried to mirror the other half. Collage with serviettes, so basically their faces are napkins, pieces of napkin, and they are glued down. Collage again, so she's a collage, and then watercolor. Collage. Collage again. So this is the last page, and I wrote looking forward to the next whimsical adventures, which means I've started a new journal. Okay, so just let me check out my camera. Yeah, we are fine. So then I've started my big Jane Davenport journal, and I think here we were in the month of May, in which the Mermaid Challenge runs. So basically in each day of the month of May there is a theme about mermaids, but I've only done one. I think this is the first time I've used the pen pastels by Jane Davenport. They are very nice and very smooth. And in this journal, some pages, the first pages, I've tried something new on the first pages. Basically, I took out all my serviettes and my collage paper, and I've began to stick down pieces of them before painting anything. So this is a piece of a napkin, and then the woods here somewhere are done with a piece of napkin, and then on the other side I've drawn them down. Okay, and this is a piece of napkin, and so on. And then I have tried to choose a color scheme which matches the napkin, and to draw something inspired by that. So this was the mermaid. And this is, I thought, a Chinese girl. Didn't really work out. Her eyes are a piece of washi tape which goes from here to here, and then I drew the rest. These are some girls. This is a piece of napkin. I've tried different color schemes, and then I've called them night and day because of the different background. This I really liked. It's also inspired by Jane Davenport, and it's a lesson in her book, but I thought it went well with the field of poppies and the colorful napkin. This is also a lesson from Jane Davenport, basically drawing the back and the sitting position. This I also liked. So it's a piece of napkin from Jane Davenport, but then the drawing is inspired by Jane Davenport and James Burke as well, and I like the pink background. This I don't like so much, but it had to be an Easter inspired theme, as I had a piece of napkin for Easter. This is a mixture of different things. So I had this napkin with the angels, and then I drew her, and I quoted, if I got rid of my demons, I'd lose my angels. This is a sketchy figure, also from Jane Davenport, and I like her skirt with running colors and not very defined edges. This is also inspired by the collage, so it's an Eiffel Tower. And then I also found a quote, "Take me to Paris," she said. "You are Paris," he replied. So it's either I start with a collage paper, and that inspires the spread, and then I search for a quote which goes with that, or I find a quote and that inspires a spread. This is also inspired by Jane Davenport. And I really like her. It's one of my favorite spreads. I like how she came out, and how the green goes with the purple, and also her posture. And I've said here, self-confidence is my kind of magic. I really like her. I like her as well. She's also from Jane Davenport. And I've said here, mermaids are fairies of the sea. This is a lesson from Jane Davenport about drawing with water. So basically, with your water brush, you draw only with water, and then you drop in color and watch it run. And then when it dries, you do the outline with a marker or with a liner. I like the liner better. And here I've done some swatches of my alcohol markers and watercolor markers. So you see how alcohol and water don't react, and here the colors have stayed and the water markers have ran into the watercolors, but I like the effect. I like this very much. This is done, so we have finished with decoupage collage I've done so far, so I don't have anything stuck from now on the pages. Here I have painted a background, and then I have done some stenciling, so these patterns in her hair are all stencils. Then I drew her, and I have pushed the background back by painting it with a darker color. But I really like how she came out, and the contrast between her hair and the background, and her look. I like her. Here I have tried something similar, but I don't like her quite as much. However, she is pretty okay. I like her hair. I have tried the metallic paints from Pebeo, and they are really nice, and I think you can get out some really nice effects because they are transparent. So here I have also done some embossing with structure paste through a stencil. This is a bit darker. I feel like here my inspiration kind of faded, and then not long after I have stopped doing this journal, because you have to think things through, and being such larger journal, you have to have more ideas to fill the page, so it's quite a workout. Here I have tried something else. This is collaging with specialty paper. So her dress and her hair are done with specialty paper, and then she's done with pastels. I like her so and so. And here I've just put down some extra colors I had been left with after painting some other things, and I didn't want to waste them, but I have to think how can I change this into something else and something nice and appealing. So that's about it. Here I have done the swatching of my colored pencils, my Faber-Castell Polychromos, and I have written down all the pencils there are. So there are 120 colors, and I only have 35, which is quite a few. So I need to get more. Okay, so this was the large journal. Then I have my travel journal, which you have seen me post on Facebook lately, and I have divided it into chapters because this is how many strings I have. So 3 chapters, 3 strings. So this is chapter 1. These are all mainly inspired by James Burke. And I was also trying to cover some of my children's drawings because this was quite expensive paper, and I felt sorry to give them away or throw them in the end, because they draw and then they don't need the drawings anymore, so they end up in the bin. So I have tried to come up with something which works, and there was this James Burke spread. This is all done by me, so I have covered it with black gesso and then put a quote and do some stenciling. Also James Burke. I was trying this window thing he does. I didn't like it so much in the beginning, but then it grew on me. This is just some scribbling to cover up some drawings. Here I have tried some cross hatching, and I have used liners of different thicknesses. This is done by James Burke. I have duplicated his spread, and it's kind of resonated with how I felt at that point. Shine bright, no one can dim your light. I really like this one. And here, I think it was the first time I have tried shading with colored pencils on watercolor, and I really like this. This is all me. I was inspired by fashion illustrations, and yeah, I like this. So this is the first string, the first notebook, and the first chapter. And here I have quoted, a good day is a good day, a bad day is a good story. At the end of the day, it's all good. Which is true. And then the second chapter. His urban sketching, inspired by James Burke, but it's more of a sketch for a fairy tale, as I see it. But it's nice. It's nice how they are not all very well defined, and how the colors run into each other. This is also inspired by James Burke for Christmas. And then this is also him. I've changed it up a bit, and I thought of the end of 2019 and the beginning of 2020, so the last day and the first day holding stars together. I like how they came out. I really like the shading. And then I have thought of bubbles and spring and summer and autumn, and I've thought of a different color scheme for each. So this is spring and summer. And then my notebook ends, and I have quoted, expect wonderful things to happen. And then chapter 3 begins, and this is autumn, so it continues the theme of that I have started before. And winter, and this is inspired by a photo I have found on the internet, and also a song. I like the posture of her head and how dreamy she looks, and the shades of blue in her hair. This was also inspired by a photo I have found on the internet. It's called Embrace Me, and you have seen the video. And I have also found a quote which goes with it. Then I had some pieces of rice paper which I didn't want to throw away, and I have collaged them, and then they have inspired this spread in what the color scheme is concerned. I like the way she turned out, and I like the color scheme, and it makes me think of the jungle and maybe the movie Avatar. And then I did some botanical sketching in ballpoint pen. I have referenced some images I have found on the internet, but the whole concept was inspired by Brie from Documented Journey. I will have her linked down below, and as I find her very inspiring, and maybe you can go check her out because she does some amazing things with the ballpoint pen. Ballpoint pen sketching again and again and again, and then the chapter is over, and I have said in the end we only regret the chances we didn't take. And this was a spread I've done on the summer holiday, and basically it's a landscape sketch. And I have one more. This is a business notebook which I have foiled with washi tape, and I have tried to make a Hobonichi journal, also inspired by James Burke. So there is a 5-year Hobonichi, but I didn't have room for that. And what is interesting about this is that you have a 3-year journal, and basically on the header part of the paper you have the first year, and then the second one, and then the third one. But as you write into it, you write on each page, and then on the second year you start from the beginning again, and you will be able to compare what you have done and how you felt on the same day of last year or 2 years ago. So I think this will be an interesting project. It's mainly writing. I have tried to draw some of the things I have drawn in the other journals, but it's not all like that. So here is, I have started my YouTube channel. I have been swimming, and then I want to try some botanical drawing and what supplies I need. So it's not all about drawing, it's mainly what I have done and how I felt. So I hope you like my journals. If you want to see something specific, please write to me in the comments, and we'll see each other in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.